Hi everyone, Mrs. Petchers here. We are going to take a minute and we are going to start part 2 of Adapt or Die. Now, we already finished part 1 of Adapt or Die and we had an essential question in part 1. And that question was focusing on animal adaptations and how do they help animals to survive. So now that we're going into part 2 of Adapt or Die, we are going to move on to the second portion and we have a brand new focus essential question. So if you bring your eyes to this black box over here, our focus question is, how are animal adaptations explained in literature? So we're going to be talking about animal adaptations still, but we're going to be talking about how they look in literature, so through stories. Over here, there's some text. I want to take a minute and read it to you. I want you to read it in your head while I read it out loud. It says, Adapt or Die. Stories explaining why animals look and behave the way that they do have been around for thousands of years. And as you can see, if you look over here in this corner, you can see that there are going to be 3 new readings that we are going to be reading through in our part 2. The first one is called Ask How and Why, and it's got this beautiful bird. We'll be looking at that closer. The next one is called How the Leopard's Got His Spots. The next one is called The Chameleon. Now, once we've looked through all of that, I want to take a minute and I want to talk about this word in our concept map over here on the right-hand side of your screen. So in the middle of our bubble map, we've got our word origin. And as you can see, there are a whole bunch of bubbles that surround the word origin. So now if we were in the classroom, you would be asking yourself, and I'd be asking you this question. I want you to rate how you feel about the word origin. Remember, a 1 means I've never heard that word before. So if you've never heard the word origin, you would give it a 1. A 2 means I've heard it, but I don't know what it means. So that would be a 2. A 3 would be I've heard it and I think I know what it means. And then a 4 would be I've heard it, I know what it means, I can use it in a sentence. So I want you to take a minute and I want you to think about, how do you feel about the word origin? Would it be a 1, 2, 3, or 4? Now, I'm not going to tell you what the word origin means yet. I want you to take a second and I want you to look at the bubble map that's surrounding the word origin. You can see one word is already filled in there. The first word that's there is start. Now I'm going to go ahead and fill in some more words around it, and I want you to be thinking about, what do these words all have in common? So we've got start. Now we've got beginning. Okay. We've got birth. All right. Then we've got dawn. A dawn is like the beginning of a new day. And then the last word is first time. So take a minute and think about those words and what they have in common. We've got origin on the inside, start, birth, beginning, dawn, and first time. So now that we've kind of thought about this word, an origin is a tale or a story that tells you what happened in the beginning to a character. It kind of gives you the backstory of what happened in the beginning. So whenever I think of an origin tale, I automatically think of the story of Batman. Now, you probably have heard Batman before. Batman is a comic book character, and he definitely has lots of different origin tales. The one that I've always heard about is when he was a young boy, his parents were killed in front of him, and that's kind of the thing that sparked him to want to go out and become this superhero that goes and helps people that are in need. So that's the origin tale that I always think of when I think of an origin tale. So what I want you to do in your forms this week is I want you to be thinking about, what is an origin tale that you've heard of? What's an origin tale that you know about? And there are so many. I could probably tell you pretty much every Disney movie that you've ever seen has had an origin tale. Also, pretty much every comic book character. So I want you to think about an origin tale that you know. And this week in your form, I want you to fill in, what is an origin tale that you have read about, seen in a movie, seen in a cartoon, or read